The 17th Olympiad was held in Rome from August 25th to September 11th, 1960. This Olympics was notable for many reasons. The beautiful setting, the first games televised in the United States, and an 18-year-old boxer from Louisville, Kentucky, who went on to shake up the world. Was a man ever more perfectly named for a coming-out party in Rome? Cassius Marcellus Clay. His namesake, Gaius Cassius Longinus, was a Roman senator and general, and the infamous leader of the plot to assassinate Julius Caesar in 44 BC. There were other fighters to emerge from the 1960 Games who'd make an impact on the world stage, including a local, Giovanni Nino Benvenuti. He took home gold in the welterweight division and the Val Barker Trophy for Most Outstanding Boxer in the Games. Besides those stars, another fighter at the Games, mostly anonymous, was a pioneer for the greatest amateur boxing teams ever assembled. At the 1951 Pan American Games in Buenos Aires, Cuba sent 4 boxers. Cristobal Hernandez came home with a silver medal. The country didn't send a boxing team to the 55 Pan Americans. At the 1959 Pan American Games in Chicago, Cuba sent 1 boxer, Enrique Garmuri. He came home empty-handed after losing in the semi-finals by a walkover. This was in the days when only the winner of the bout between losing semi-finalists was awarded the bronze medal. But that wasn't the end of Garmuri or amateur boxing in Cuba. He went on to mentor one of the greatest Olympians of all time. The year after the Pan Am Games, Cuba sent 1 fighter to the Olympics, Esteban Tabita Aguilera, an 18-year-old lightweight from the port city of Manzanillo on the southwest coast. The Pan Am Games is a regional competition contested by athletes from the Americas. The Olympics, along with the World Cup, is the biggest show in sport. Before 1960, Cuba had never competed in boxing at the Olympic Games, despite the nation's extensive professional pedigree. But there had to be a first one, and that was Tabita, one teenage boxer in Cuba's entire Olympic team that included just 11 other athletes. Cuba had only sent 16 athletes to Melbourne in 1956. The Rome Games was Cuba's first Olympics since the Revolution, an upheaval that would transform Cuban society and lead to the ban of professional sports, including boxing, in 1962. The only Olympic gold medals ever won by a Cuban were awarded to Ramon Fonst, a fencer known as El Nunca Segundo, never second, who competed in 1900, 1904, and 1924. He retired from Olympic competition with 4 golds and a silver. He died in 1959. In fact, Cuba hadn't won an Olympic medal of any kind since 1948, when Carlos de Cardenas and his son Carlos Jr. won silver in star-class sailing. So wasn't it a bit much to ask a scrawny kid from a small island in the Caribbean Sea to travel far across the Atlantic, challenge the best in the world, and return golden? It sure looked like it. except Ramon Font went to Paris in 1900 and came back with gold and silver. And Font wasn't even 17. Could Esteban Aguilera achieve with his gloves what Ramon did with foil and epee? In 1900, Ramon shone in the City of Light. Could Esteban Aguilera win undying glory in the Eternal City? No. Tabita, after receiving a first-round bye, lost to Ireland's Danny O'Brien in the second round via 5-0 unanimous decision. The entire boxing team was eliminated in one day. The Cuban Olympic team did not win a single medal in Rome. The host Italians won 3 boxing gold and topped the standings with 7 medals. You could forgive Cuba for sending only a small delegation to Rome. The country was in the midst of a post-revolution reconstruction. After President Fulgencio Batista Zaldivar left office on New Year's Day 1959, he'd been succeeded as president by Manuel Urrutia Leo and then Osvaldo Dorticos Tirado. But in 1960, the real man in charge was the Prime Minister, Fidel Castro. Even if there was no longer fighting in the streets or hills, Cuba's social, political, and economic landscape was in a state of constant transition. Amateur sports and winning was an obsession for Cuba's communist brothers and sisters in the Eastern Bloc, and the Olympics was becoming a manifestation of the Cold War on the field of play. This same mentality was being adopted by Cuba. Combined with the country's passion for boxing, a pugilistic powerhouse conceived in Rome would be born. And it all started with Esteban Aguilera, Tabita, the skinny kid from Manzanillo. But all this wouldn't happen overnight. After all, Rome wasn't built in a day.